Yo, what's good, y'all? Surprise your man. Today we're back here giving another video in the building. All right, let's get into it, man. Let's go ahead and run the gun. Oh, I'm glad I ain't show screen yet. I didn't even do that. Oh, my bad. Let me do that. I got a bunch of tabs open. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm closing all these tabs that unnecessarily open. All right, bet. Reacting to this bit like the controversial business, you know what I mean, of Adin Ross. So we're gonna go ahead and see what this video was talking about. You know, another one that popped up in the recommended. Everybody obviously know Adin, you know, top of the streaming game. So let's go ahead and see what are these controversial cases, you know, because he has been in hot water a good bit of time. So let's see
when people
what
talk about controversial streamers,
comment,
there's almost always one name that comes up first.
Adin Ross.
Adin Ross is interesting because on one hand, he's top 1% successful. But
Hell,
on the
yo.
other, this is how the internet describes it.
Adin Ross is a goddamn idiot. Scumbag.
The way streaming changed your life around is crazy,
a
though.
misogynistic far-right streamer, Adin Ross.
Like, nigga got own crib, everything.
To start off the
That's
interview,
dope.
I guess the first question we would have for you
Oh,
is,
you actually interviewed him.
would you say that online you
That's
are
hard.
hated?
That way it don't seem like he making a hit piece. I actually like that he interviewed him. That way it ain't seeming like he just made a hit piece, you know what I mean? So, hey, he actually interviewed him. That's dope.
Damn.
Adin has built an empire on being the bad guy. Why?
Controversy sells.
And he's right, it pays to be the villain.
Hey, look.
But when you wear a mask for profit long enough, you eventually forget how to take it off. So what's the most
Everything
true and
just numbers
authentic
on the
version of
screen, you
Adin
know?
Ross? Well, I've come to realize that the answer to that question is a bit more complicated than you'd think. To understand Adin Ross, we need to go back to before the controversial rise. Back to when he was just starting to figure out something far more simple. How to get people's attention. Adin grew up in Boca Raton, Florida,
Look
at
at
least
Adin.
until his parents' divorce scattered his childhood across the country. One year he was the new kid in New York, the next in California, then eventually back to Florida
Pictures,
again.
bro.
If I get 50,000 followers on Vine,
But constantly restarting life like that forced
on
Adin to
Vine.
adapt fast. He had to figure out new social dynamics.
Look at Adin, man.
But constantly restarting life like that
Hold on,
forced
man.
Adin to adapt fast.
Look at Adin. Yo, man, seeing a young, I mean, he's technically still young, but seeing like an Adin that young is funny.
He had to figure out new social dynamics and find new friend groups over and over again. He learned quickly that the easiest way to fit in was to become a mirror, to read the room, make people laugh, and give them exactly the version of him they wanted to see.
When you were bouncing around from school to school, do you think that that helped you, like, become the perfect streamer? Like, you figured out how to entertain.
I think, yes. I think being socially uncomfortable, being thrown into the deep end of the pool, you know, it makes you. You know, it really, really does.
You see, Adin started off as a kid who was forced to learn how to fit in, and in the process, he accidentally trained himself for the perfect job. When he started streaming NBA 2K from his bedroom, that same survival instinct
I said, hey, it's funny because I was saying off camera, I said, you know what, I need to start playing 2K. I mean, I played it in the past, but I ain't played it in a while. But I'm over there like, I need to start 2K. I noticed that's the common trend, you know, Adin, Speed, Duke, Phantom, all of them started with 2K. I'm like, you know what, Cash, Flight, end up being, you know, you want to go back in the day. I need to start that shit, man. You never know.
school
You never
kicked
know.
in. He'd read the
You've
These
got
motherfuckers, these
17
games costing though. I know
different
GTA 6 for sure
Give it
gonna
a
be
rest. And Vado has
consistent
unlimited AI
gameplay.
generations.
That's probably
chat
gonna blow
and
up a whole
adjust his
new generation of
personality in
streamers
real
right there.
time to give the viewers exactly what they wanted. And that was the secret weapon
Nah,
that took him
not
from
the,
a no-name 2K
PlayStation
streemer
mic.
to the face of Twitch in under a year. Adin saw
Damn.
the ceiling on gaming content and pivoted hard. He quit streaming 2K and rolled out a series called E-Dating that absolutely exploded online. But what made Adin Ross a household name was his streams with rappers. Think of these streams
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
yeah, for
talk
sure.
show.
That's
If the host
definitely
was
the
20
first
years
time I
old,
saw it.
totally unprepared and openly flirting with the guests.
How big is your dick?
Hey, all right. That was you talk about clipping. That was a crazy clip to open up with, man. Damn.
Adin leaned into being sus, pushing boundaries, making things
Yep.
awkward, and treating platinum-selling artists like they were his actual friends. It shattered the barrier between Hollywood and social media. The internet ate it up. Adin gained over 2 million followers in April alone.
We love you, Tekka.
He was averaging viewer counts in the 6 figures, and quite literally becoming the future of Twitch. For a brief moment, Adin had it all. He was the face of streaming. He was suddenly friends with the influencers that he once adored. But that level of fame is dangerous, because once you have the attention of millions, you become a target for people who want to buy your influence.
captured the
Deals that pay
masses.
insane money, but always come with a catch. Think of it like a button.
USD.
When you're the face of a platform like Twitch, it's as easy as pushing this button and a few $1 million pop out. The problem is the people writing these checks usually come from some shady places. It's dirty money. Every time you press that button, you sell a piece of your reputation. You invite the backlash in, and half the world learns to hate you just a little bit more.
For sure.
mainstream media hates me, bro.
Most creators keep their distance. They see the money, sure, but they look at the cost and they walk away. And for a while, Adin didn't risk it either, because at that point, Adin was widely known as the edgy, funny guy. When he came onto the scene, he ruffled feathers, but people loved him for it. But that button gets a lot harder to ignore.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I was definitely one of those people that I was like, hey, yo. And like, everything was paused. But growing up seeing that, because this would have been like he would have been blown up, what, 2019 to like 2021. So I was probably in like middle school, high school, like early high school. So seeing this blow up at the time, I was like, hey, yo, but it's funny. I was like, hey, yo, but it was funny. It was funny.
You grew up with nothing.
People think,
especially at that age.
Like I had it very easy my whole life. We were financially stable, medium class, up until about senior year. It got really hard for us. And you know, I would go literally some nights without eating dinner.
He realized he could make every single one of those problems disappear forever. All he had to do was push the button.
Let's go, come on. Let's go. Oh yeah, the betting, yeah.
The temptation became too irresistible. Adin took a massive sponsorship deal with Roobet, one of the earliest online crypto casinos. And suddenly, he's gambling live on stream for insane amounts of money.
It's crazy.
Tens of thousands flying into cartoon slot machines while thousands of viewers watch. The reward was absurd. Leaked messages showed that he was making up to $2 million a month. His lifestyle inflated overnight with luxury cars, LA mansions, watches that cost annual salaries.
I bought a Lambo before.
I ain't gonna lie, that's a crazy 180 turn though. Like, I ain't gonna lie, if I see that type of rise, that shit gonna be crazy. Cause that shit, I ain't gonna lie, it depending on how you blow up, that turnaround be coming out of nowhere. Like, you like, damn, how you went from like streaming in Ma Duke's basement, like I am technically, streaming in Mom's basement to like you got your own shit. Like, I would be interested to know what that turn feel like, bro. That shit crazy. That's a crazy like I said, that's a 180 turn in your lifestyle. So I wonder how you even like grow accustomed to something like that. You know what I mean? Like, that shit crazy.
That, which was stupid, but at that time, I'm 19 years old. I want to buy a Lamborghini.
19
show everyone like you.
The money was quite literally life-changing. It gave him the ability to support his parents, help his family, give gifts to friends that don't even sound real.
This is not my car.
Swear my life. This is your house for a year locked. You don't have to worry about rent for a year.
Now, there's a dark side of the button, and we're getting to that. But first, we've got something exciting to tell you guys. So, we started this channel a little over a year ago, and genuinely, it was crazy to see how quickly it picked up steam.
Yo, golf cart!
Golf cart!
W golf cart in the chat.
But now, almost every day, we get DMs asking us how we write our scripts, or where do you find this stuff?
How did you find this?
Oh, this guy did his research.
I was like, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking a plug on that sponsorship coming,
Is
man.
this guy like Nardwar?
You've maybe noticed the logo on the mic or the logo in the top right corner, but we've recently partnered with WAP to finally answer your questions. Inside our community on WAP, we're...
I told you. Wah. Hey, wait. If you know Drake. Yeah, I told you, man. Look, I got a business-oriented mind, you know what I mean? I knew that shit was coming. W golf cart, though.
builds, the late night writing sessions, and of course, all of the stuff that gets cut out. Like this interview with Adin.
First time I watched the video,
45 minutes, and maybe used 5 in the video. The full uncut interview is already uploaded in our WAP right now. We've got big plans for what the space can become, but what excites us the most is that we can actually just make a video without having to stare down the barrel of the YouTube algorithm. All in all, if you want to see the full process of how we make a video, or just want to support the channel in general, the link's at the top of the description. But that's enough yapping, let's get back to the video. Okay, so you blew up
I gotta
super,
get my mic like
and
that,
then
though, for sure.
you were
I gotta get that clear mic. Look, like I said before in other videos, my mic gave out on me. You son of a bitch. Slap you in the back of your damn head for that shit. This mic gave out because it broke. You son of a bitch. You bitch ass on somewhere. This mic, to its credit, has been there since the beginning. But at the same time, you just sucked. You just weren't the greatest. I was grateful for you, bro, but you just, slap you in the back of the head. I'm sorry, bro. But you know what? You get less of a smack than everybody else because you was at least never gave out. You just didn't sound that good. But I'm still grateful for you, nigga. But look, my mic right here, man, this one been going good. It don't even if you play it back or you play the video right now, obviously, it don't even sound like I got a mic. But it actually is a mic. Like, you know, like, when I tap on it, you can hear that bit. Like, it's on. But anyway, yeah, back to the video though. I just had to admire the microphone he got, because that shit sound like, you know what I mean, clear, you know what I mean, quality shit right there, man.
Like, pretty well loved at that point. You were edgy, you
It
were a
take
little
money to get the
sus,
good
but everybody
equipment,
seemed to
though.
like you a lot. Towards the
Yeah.
end of 2021, things kind of seemed to shift.
The first thing that we're going to talk about today, easily one of the most requested topics, it involves gambling and a YouTuber, spotlighter, stirs.
I had been hearing for a while about how online unregulated crypto casinos were hiring
Oh,
some
yeah,
of the
the
biggest
crypto
influencers in the world
in the early
to promote
2020s.
them, and then would pay.
Isn't that crazy to think we're like in the mid to late 2020s now? Like, imagine thinking about 2020, 21, and 22. Like, that would be, to me, like the early 2020s. Once you start getting past 2024, I mean, really 2021, to me, 2024 kind of felt like more we're getting in the midway point, but that shit crazy to think we over it like that midway point, you know, man? That shit crazy.
them for every fan they got.
But yeah,
to
crypto's
sign
going
up.
crazy around
He's
the
willing to
early
do
2020s.
anything to just make money off the back of his fans and then laugh about it.
You started to get some pushback from certain people, and you weren't as well liked in certain circles.
I don't know. Adin Ross, everything he has done is stupid.
He knows what he's doing is f***ed up, but on the other hand, he's unwilling to stop doing it.
I've just never seen this life changing money in front of me in front of a table like that. You know what I mean?
I get it. And you're 20.
What was that first point where you started to notice that, and what did that feel like?
The hate gets to me, I'm not gonna lie, because the hate's different now. It's just like, a lot of people watch me, they don't even like me. It's weird.
Honestly, at that point, I was like, as long as my friends and me are having fun, making good content, my community's happy, I didn't really care at that point.
Most creators would panic here. They would apologize, pivot to save content, and try to win the internet back. But for whatever reason, the backlash did the exact opposite for Adin.
For me,
did y'all see some of the views on these things? Hold on. God damn. I mean, it's David, but still, damn,
Most
18
creators would
mil.
panic here. They would apologize,
22
pivot
mil,
to save
20
content,
mil,
and try to win the internet back.
18, God damn.
But for whatever reason, the
See, if you
backlash
like
did
that,
the
for me,
exact
go hard.
opposite for Adin.
For me, I kind of liked it. I liked kind of being, you know, not liked by the mainstream crowd. You know, I like that a lot, honestly.
The villain.
Adin, quit now, and I will respect you.
Can't quit now.
Then I think then you're.
Tell Monday what you need. We're creating an agent and naming him Tony. Now let's give him context.
You're turning your head and making blood money.
This was a defining moment for Adin, because
Nigga,
he
what
realized
money?
that being the villain
I'm
paid better
amazed,
than
nigga,
being the
if
hero.
y'all know, what was that, Lil Wayne that said that? Yeah. Was that Wayne? Yeah. I
So
think it was.
he doubled down. By early
Nah, he did,
2022, Adin traded in the Roobet deal for a massive partnership with Stake. Stake is a different beast entirely. It's a platform with
Yo, especially if you go on Twitter, bro, you see Stake, even if they don't even actually have a Stake deal, you see that for like every freaking streamer clip, bro. That Stake shit must be paying the bill. I know Drake be using it. I think he be partnered up with them, right? So they must be paying the bills, man. They gotta be.
It's deep enough to headline F1 teams and Premier League
Drake
jerseys.
the niggas net worth up.
So when the pen hit the paper, the financial scale shifted instantly. Suddenly, Adin wasn't making life-changing money anymore. He was making you money. This is where the relationship between Adin and Twitch turned into a dangerous game of cat and mouse. On one side, you have Twitch, owned by Amazon, desperate to keep their platform safe for advertisers like Coke and Disney. On the other side, you have their biggest star, screaming at digital slots and continuing to test every rule in the book.
You have to follow policy and follow rules.
Now, Adin was definitely the face of it, but he wasn't alone. Hordes of streamers were jumping on the crypto casino's payroll. The platform effectively tore itself in two. Half the top creators were cashing these massive checks, while the other half were screaming about the ethics of promoting gambling to kids.
How can you feel good about taking money
Yeah,
from
facts.
people like that?
But here was the problem. Nobody was actually breaking the rules. Twitch couldn't punish Adin for something that they allowed. So, they made some changes.
Yeah.
They banned unregulated gambling sites entirely.
Oh, they said, you know what? It ain't got a we recognize, notice the little situation with one of our, if not our biggest creator on the platform. So we kind of felt like we need to take a little bit of action. You know what I mean? Come on, man. You know, look. Now, a lot of people, obviously, like you said, you know, was saying, you kind of promoting gambling to kids, which, you know, you don't want to do that. But I will say, even though that is true, at the same time, though, there's a lot of content that these top creators film that kids probably shouldn't be watching from a standpoint of, like, maybe stuff they be saying or you know what I mean, whatever activity they be doing. Like, it probably some stuff that a lot of kids ain't supposed to watch. But, you know, at that point, you know, you got to monitor what your kid watching if you really think that, you know, who they watching is, you know, dangerous or not good for their mental, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm not really a person that ever see myself ever getting into gambling. I just don't see no fun in like I mean, I get investing, and even then that's a tricky game too, but you know, betting, I don't know if I can get into betting, bro. It's just something about putting money up and not knowing where the hell is going don't make me feel good about myself.
Publicly, they framed it as a moral stance, protecting the kids from the addiction. But if you ask Adin, it wasn't about the morality. It was about the money.
How did that all play out behind the scenes?
So Pokimane, Hassan, they push for Stake being banned on Twitch.
Okay.
I was in the gym and I got a text from someone on my team. Just got off the phone with Twitch. They're not banning Stake, bro. No work. They banned it 30 minutes later.
Oh,
so they
damn.
banned Stake. Why did they ban Stake? They banned Stake because Stake didn't want to cut Twitch in on a check. What does Twitch do? They go to NFL, they do a DraftKings deal worth billions of dollars. So if you go look at Twitch right now, you can gamble on Twitch. They didn't ban gambling. There's a misconception they banned gambling. No. They banned casinos where they can't make money off of. They are currently monetizing off gambling right now.
Twitch cut off Adin's gravy train, so he had to pivot. But he didn't go back to gaming, and he wasn't all that into the rapper streams either. So he reached out to the one guest that nobody else dared to touch.
Train wreck.
I see you all over everywhere. You're like the number one person right now. You know, no dick suck, like, bro.
No.
Yeah,
I knew it.
That's mine.
I knew it. Well, I was thinking of Train because I know that him and Train were on Kick, right? But nah. The Adin tape clips was going crazy. I gotta be honest. This was like what, 2022? Obviously when tape was blown up, right? So like, I ain't gonna lie, these went crazy though. These clips went crazy.
I took it all.
In the span of a single summer, Andrew Tate had gone from total obscurity to being the most viral person on Earth. And Adin's first stream with him went absolutely ballistic. It averaged over 100,000 viewers and peaked at 266,000.
I was seeing, kid you not, I was seeing some live too. Some of this I was seeing live. I was like, bro, these numbers are astronomical. And I ain't gonna lie, it was entertainment watching Andrew just basically pick him apart. It was entertainment, bro. You gotta be honest, man. It was entertainment, man. Whether you like Tate or not, I gotta be fair. It was entertainment.
This was the biggest stream that he had ever done. Bigger than the E-Dates, bigger than the rapper streams. There was no way Adin wasn't doing another one.
I've been streaming for a very long time. We're about to peak my most viewers ever had.
But there was a massive elephant in the room. Andrew Tate was one of the most, if not the most, controversial person on the planet at the time. And because of that, he was systematically erased from the modern internet. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they all blacklisted him. However, Adin once again saw a loophole. Tate didn't have a Twitch account, so technically there was nothing to ban. And no one had explicitly written a rule saying you couldn't talk to him on stream, so while the rest of the world was deplatforming Tate, Adin rolled out the red carpet.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, do you hear me?
For the rest of the year, he milked that loophole for everything it was worth, even flying across the world to stream with Tate IRL.
I'm top G too. No, you're not.
But in January of 2023, the cat finally caught the mouse. Twitch had seen enough and slapped Adin with his 7th ban from the platform, a massive 30-day suspension from streaming. To the executives, it was a disciplinary timeout, a warning shot to force their unruly star back into line. But for Adin, sitting in silence for a month, locked out of his empire, it didn't feel like a lesson. It felt like an attack. It radicalized him. He realized that Twitch wasn't just enforcing rules, they were rewriting them. And in doing so, they were trying to take away his button forever.
The red button.
Adin was done playing games. He was done with the censorship, and luckily for him, there was something being built behind the scenes. You see, when Twitch banned the major gambling sites, they really pissed off the founders of Adin's old sponsor, Stake.
Eddie, the CEO of Stake and Kick, he says, all right, you know what? Yeah, let's boss up. Makes a streaming platform.
Eddie Craven, who happens to be the youngest billionaire in Australia, decided,
most people using ChatGPT and Claude are leaving 80% of the value on the table. Here's how the top 1% of the users
to step into the ring with Twitch. He wrote out Kick. Kick positioned itself as the antidote to everything.
Hold on, let's go back. Hold on. Yeah, because this is where the Kick era started. I was wondering this.
Decided to step into the ring with Twitch. He wrote out Kick. Kick positioned itself as the antidote to everything wrong with the streaming industry.
But it started WoW. Kick started WoW. You used to be able to do anything on Kick. Now I think they got a little more structure. But, you used to be able to do anything.
Creators over corporate advertisers. It promised total creative freedom, stripping away the strict guidelines that had suffocated streamers for years. But a platform with no users is useless. They needed someone big enough to drive real traffic to the site.
My original deal before I got banned on Twitch, which I think was like, 2 weeks after I came to Kick? Something like that.
It was
like
close.
a month. I was supposed to go on Twitch. obviously funnel from Twitch to Kick. Twitch didn't like that. That was a big no-no. They took me out, and that was it.
After the 30-day suspension cleared, Adin began dual streaming. He would go live on Twitch, talk to his 7 million followers, and tell them to migrate over to Kick for the real content. But he knew he needed a hook. He needed to show them that Kick was different. So he went on this absurd marketing campaign to test every limit he could imagine.
Recently, there's been this unholy floodgate, like a dam that's broken in the mind of Adin Ross's brain, that's led to him making the worst decisions imaginable over the last couple months.
What the is going on?
He pulled up Pornhub live on stream.
Oh yeah,
he tweeted things he knew would incinerate.
Bro, I was like, I knew I was thinking of something. Yeah, facts. It was, bro, pulling up the hub on stream. Like I told you, when they first started, bro, it's gonna show you as a business. Like even when you want to be known as like the streaming platform with more freedom, you gotta be careful though, cause like there's a difference between allowing more freedom, but it's like you still need structure because you don't want it just to be all over the place. So even if you want to be like a better, alternative and stuff like that, you still got to have structure and be like, hey, here's our do's and don'ts. You can't just go out here, butt fucking bunny rabbits and not getting banned. You know what I mean? Like, come on, gang. Motherfuckers over there having sex on stream. Like, what the fuck? I mean, it's different on you if, that's different when you go live on OnlyFans. You know what I mean? But when it's supposed to be like a legitimate business of a streaming platform, yeah, man, you can allow more freedom and have more leeway, but you still got to have structure to be like, hey, even with us allowing more, here's our do's and don'ts. Like, you gotta set a precedent, man, because people just start doing anything, bro.
His reputation in the mainstream, including the infamous two genders tweet.
It did kind of seem like for a minute you leaned into the villain role.
The edgy
Do you
era.
think that's
even though I don't think that's edgy to say there's two genders. I mean, that's not edgy, but other stuff, yeah.
Is there an accurate assumption?
I do. I remember this like it was yesterday. I went over to Kick. I made a tweet, and I said that there are two genders.
77 mil.
A lot of people are mad for that, and the entire world really went at me for that.
But Adin wasn't stupid. He knew exactly what he was doing.
I had to kind of say and do some crazy to make Kick pop.
I literally might have 2 people in this room this week on stream. Suck my fucking nuts! Stop it!
Hey,
Twitter, you guys are the reason why the internet is soft. Stop! Bang!
He was proving a point. On Kick, you can't be canceled.
There's no terms of service over there. You guys can say whatever you want on my chat. Nobody can get banned.
Dude.
But on Twitch,
you know chat gonna take that seriously. Chat gonna say every offensive thing imaginable. You can't give chat leeway to say what they want to say. They will say anything.
This is cancel culture. I'm gonna cancel culture. I'm Adin Ross, and Adin Ross is gonna say what the f he says.
In late February 2023, amidst the chaos of his marketing rampage, Twitch had seen enough. They issued his 8th ban. This time, it was permanent.
Well, you can stream there now, but
a lot of the people on the Kick side of things love.
I think that's funny how when they call it a perma ban, and then they like how they did with Speed, and then they bring you back. Like, that's funny because it's like, wait, it was permanent, ironically, or like a little juxtaposition. It was permanent for a certain amount of time, and then it wasn't permanent.
And they kept, endorsing it a little bit, like, oh yeah, you got it, we love it. Controversy
I think
sells.
He be streaming his brand risk a bit.
And Kick is very successful because of that. So
the bridge was burned, but Adin was standing on the other side, holding the match and laughing. He had successfully migrated his audience. Kick's user base exploded, growing over 400% in months, largely off the back of Adin's controversy. By mid-2023, Adin Ross had achieved something that is statistically impossible in the influencer economy. He had been banned, deplatformed, and labeled a public enemy, and yet he was bigger than ever.
Too far? I don't give a cancel me. I don't give a
In any other story, this is the part where the creator gets humble. They apologize. They try to rebrand to save their career.
Did you feel like that backlash was deserved?
No, I don't. I think that the things I say, the things I do is what 90-something% of the streamers and the online people say off camera and do off camera.
He realized that on Kick, there were no referees. He had equity, he had a contract, and most importantly, he had an audience that followed him because of the chaos, not in spite of it. He was technically uncancelable. So instead of pivoting to safety, he started treating real life like a side quest. He launched a boxing promotion company cleverly named Brand Risk. Yep. He saw the massive numbers in influencer fighting and decided he wanted to own his own.
Hey, you know what? It's just because people want to see people fight. Hey, man, if influencer boxing, when it first started, obviously, if it show you anything, it's just people want to see people fight no matter who it is, man. You know what I mean? Especially if you get people with an audience. So y'all know internet beef, right? You know, internet beef between two creators. Now imagine you can get them in a boxing ring. Come on, man. People buy it, bro. I think he said they moving to arenas, so hey, man. They were gonna run it up. They're trying to run it up.
Netflix most valuable promotions, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson mega event, makes history with over 108 million live global viewers.
Even though that fight was freaking awful, you gotta give Jake credit, brother. The brother know how to get a bag. You gotta give him that. He know how to get a bag, but because he can get paid like what was it, 90 million for that Anthony Joshua? Hey, I know he broke his jaw in 2 places, but damn, I think a decent amount of people would be willing to get their jaw broke for 90 mil, and I just gotta get my jaw fucked. Some people might.
This was his crack at trying to build $1 billion business that could outlast his streaming career.
I launched a brand. My brand risk brand. Yeah.
He revamped the rapper streams at the highest of levels, bringing on names like 21 Savage and Playboy Cardi. He pulled off the biggest stream of his life, an interview with Donald Trump that peaked at over 580,000 viewers.
Damn. And you know, hey, Trump is one of the most famous people on the planet. If he's not the most famous, he's definitely one of them. So, hey, you already knew that stream was gonna do numbers, but god damn, bro, you playing a dirty game getting into politics, bro. No matter what people, align, who they align with, or what party, you playing a dangerous game with the politics, bro. That's like, hey, politics is, hey, you want controversy, man? Hey, just get the political side of things involved, bro. You will get every bit of like controversy and traction, especially on Twitter. Twitter. Hey, man, Twitter's the leading driving force to any numbers you want to get when it comes to like being controversial and all this other stuff. Bro, Twitter will run that shit up for you. So, hey, easiest way to get into hot water for sure is and they could have been doing nothing. It could have been doing something harmless on stream too. They probably didn't say nothing crazy or nothing like that, but just because you was with them, and then because of people how people think of Trump, oh yeah, you was gonna get people goddamn getting on your ass like grass. They was gonna goddamn put a thing of syrup in your ass and hope you freaking fall on an ant bed. Just being honest. That's how they thinking.
He was untouchable. But when you beat the game at 22 years old, you run into a new problem. It's not cancellation, it's boredom.
Hey,
boy, I was just about to say. He said, "Boy, I was just about to say, what the fuck do you do?"
Health check
I was literally basically gonna say that.
I couldn't realize it, but when I was grinding, that was like the peak feeling of me. When I was accomplishing all this stuff, I got this and I got that and I did that and I did this, and I just feel like I've kind of already conquered a lot of the things, like at a really young age.
Sure. And what does it feel like to conquer things at a young age?
I don't know. I honestly, man, it's fucked up because honestly, like, that's what drives me crazy sometimes. Like, what do I do now?
This explains the erratic behavior we saw throughout 2024. This cycle wasn't about him trying to change and failing, it was about him trying to feel something. He would announce that he was retiring, then come back a week later. He would say he's moving back to Miami to find his roots, then fly back to LA. He would swear off gambling, claim that he was done with the toxicity, only to sign a new deal with Stake or Rainbet just months later. To the audience, it looked like a struggle for his soul, but to Adin, it was just content.
Every time I have trauma, I put it in my back of my brain. I'm very desensitized. My brain is very desensitized.
He had pushed the button so many times that the lights didn't look as bright anymore.
It's super hard for me to sometimes feel things. I don't know. It's almost like I'm emotionless. And like I feel like I beat the game.
And that's a dangerous place to be. Because when the normal thrill wears off, you have to raise the stakes just to feel the pulse.
You said that a lot of people can't hate you online because they don't know the real you. And at the time, you definitely said that you were leaning into the villain role. Have you pulled back from that villain character? And are you no?
Nah, I love being the villain.
So what's the most true and authentic version of Adin Ross?
I think the fact that I would do a stream with 6ix9ine if he calls me up tomorrow. I think the fact that I would do a stream with anybody. I would do a stream with Jeffrey Epstein if he was still alive. Just a question. I'll do a stream with Diddy. No, I'm not joking. People that genuinely have been.
Nah, goddamn, bro. Nah, I get to a point, bro. Yeah, whoa. You know what would be a stream? Nigga, get Drake and Kendrick on the same stream. That never happened. Yo, is it literally possible? Like, from a literal standpoint, it's technically possible. But, oh my goodness. You would have, like, could y'all imagine the viewers you would have for that? the thing that everybody in the music industry is covering right now is that. So imagine you would have get both of them motherfuckers on stream. That shit would go crazy. Nah. Him going with Diddy is crazy. Nah, man. You wanna, but like he said, he want to be a villain though. I mean, yeah, you got to take that role. If he want to embrace that role, so hey, you know, it is what it is, you know. But nah, hell nah, I wouldn't do that shit, man. I'd rather not. Personally, I wouldn't.
Completely stripped from platforms and affected in their real life. They deserve some chance of speaking. They deserve some way of talking. That's where it needs to head. I don't have to like you, but I think everyone deserves their voice. And that's my whole stance on that.
As of today, the machine is still running. Adin Ross proved that you can...
No, the fuck they don't. Yeah, everybody don't need a voice. Some people need to shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Some people do. Some people gotta shut the goddamn hole in their mouth because they be running it too damn much. You know what I mean? So everybody don't need a voice. You can literally, from a like I say, from a literal standpoint, yeah, you can say what you want. But yeah, nah, some people do not need a platform, bro. I'm just being real. Everybody does not need a platform.
Build an empire on controversy. Sure. He proved that if you bring enough eyes and enough money, the rules don't apply to you. But the victory looks a lot like a trap. He's admitted openly that he feels like a puppet, a slave to the entertainment. He feeds the chat the chaos they crave because he's terrified that if he stops, the screen goes black.
It's like people know me when they see me.
That's an interesting way to look at it, though. Like, well, I mean, that's a perspective, but I look at it like this. You know, it's not really being a slave to it if you, one, are in control, because, like, you're not just letting chat, you know, just kind of let you. I feel like it's more that if, like, chat telling you to do stuff and you just do everything. Like, you just doing everything they ask you to do, no matter how crazy or stupid it is. That, to me, is being a slave to entertainment. To me, it's not when you are the type of guy to, like I say, you in control, you know, you taking it the direction you want to take it in. And then on top of that, not only you taking it, like I said, the direction you want to take it in, but also you're listening to fans, but not in a way of, again, you listen to fans as far as like, okay, if they request like, hey, bro, you know, it'd be cool if you did some content like this. Okay, that's different from doing that than like doing what everybody wants you to do. To the point where like it, you know, basically seeming like they control you. I think those are like two different things. But yeah, nah, that's an interesting perspective. But like I said, I feel like if you in control of it and you not, you know, you smart enough to be like, all right, I ain't about to just do anything. You know what I mean? I feel like that's more you know, just having fun and all that good stuff. But yeah,
they don't know me. People just will look at me as like I'm like this puppet, this entertainment puppet.
Whatever you guys want, bro. I'll do GTRP. I don't care. I'm a slave to you guys, bro.
I told you, bro. It's only that when you say that. Like when you be like, oh, I just do whatever y'all want me to do. Okay, that's when it's like, all right, bro. That's when it's fair to say
you guys want, bro. I'm a slave. I don't care, bro. I'm a puppet.
Whether you love him or you hate him, it's hard to deny that Adin Ross changed streaming forever. He shattered the corporate safety of Twitch and ushered in a new era of raw, unfiltered, and often dangerous content. He built a button that prints money. But the thing about the button is once you start pressing it, it's almost impossible to stop. If you made it this far in the video, I just wanted to say thanks for watching. At the time of recording this, we're at 95,580 subscribers, and we're trying to hit 100K by the end of the year. So, you know, if you wanted to subscribe, that'd be awesome. Also, I did want to mention that the full uncut interview with Adin is like 45 minutes.
Now look at the growth though, man. 142. You know what I mean? This is 5 months ago, but still. Hey man, W way of uncovering some of these things, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, it was good that he actually got to talk to him, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, as far as Adin, you know, I feel like if I met him, he'd probably be cool. You know what I mean? Because I'm the type of guy that's kind of like, you can look at what you see online and be like, yeah, fuck this person. But then if you met them in real life, it might be a normal conversation. Like, you never know. But I'm one of those people that just kind of feel like, you know, at one point in time, he used to be just the guy who made some sus jokes and it was kind of funny. And, you know, he was being funny. But then being funny and saying some crazy stuff that was like, crazy stuff just in a standpoint of like gets a reaction. Not like saying stuff that's meant to offend somebody, but just saying something that's meant to just get a reaction. Then I do feel like it started transforming to like, now I'm just looking for any and everything to get people to talk, whether it's good or bad. I just want to get people to talk. Like, you know what I mean? So you just gonna literally do like anything, get any controversial figure or whatever the case may be and stuff like that. And now, granted, Adin's not the only person that would like, that tries to capitalize on like, when somebody go viral or stuff like that. Adin ain't the only one. It's everybody. It's been happening many times. Like if y'all remember when the NPCs was going crazy on TikTok, Kai had put what's his name? The dude who was the NPC character as NPC Miles. That's what it was, NPC Miles, and he had him on the Mafia-thon, and like I said, Adin when Tate was going crazy, he was doing something. But even then, I think Kai and DDG and guys like that, they was having like they did like I think they've all interacted with Tate on stream and stuff at one point in time. So hey, when they see a trend really pop off, I'm not gonna deny you, everybody do be trying to collab with you when you be when they see that a particular person is really popping like that. But it low-key makes sense though, because like the benefit is if you are already a big creator and you capitalize on somebody that's gotten viral lately, you gonna get some of that audience as far as like, okay, I'm gonna get a higher audience because you're the talk of the town. But then because I got a bigger platform than you, that puts you onto a new set of eyeballs and stuff like that, so that you can, go crazy, build your platform. So it's a mutual benefit when you do those collabs. But yeah, I do feel like he went from the fun-loving streamer who at most just said some Ayo stuff, you know what I mean, to yeah, he just gonna platform all the controversy or platform controversial figures and say some just controversial things just because at the end of the day, it's all about just getting a reaction, getting the views, whether you believe half the shit you're saying or not. It's like, as long as people talking, I'm doing something right. And like you said, that can be a dangerous thing when you just looking for the reaction and that's it, and not caring about, okay, is this something good? Is this something positive? Is this something harmless? You know what I mean? So yeah, but anyway, everybody do their thing how they do it. You know what I mean? I'm not a person to try to judge every little thing that you do, because like I'm the type of guy to be like, I don't know you in real life, so like, I can only say certain things based on what I see on the internet. I may not know how you really act or know how you fully think, but then there's some people where it's like, yeah, nah, they just downright like awful human being. It ain't no type, oh, they don't understand me. Nah, nigga, you just shitty. You know what I mean? But anyway, like, subscribe. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. What other video songs reactions you want me to do? I'll get to it as soon as possible. But at the end of the day, what I say it is, what it is going to be is this certified, legitimized, legalized product. G continue to come out with content, bitches, the bangles. Time and time again for you guys. Do my thing and do it well to the best of my ability. Like, comment, subscribe before you go. Share it with a friend. Let's keep running this thing up because we trying to go viral. We trying to go crazy in the year of 2026. Let's do the damn thing, man. That's all you need to know, and that's the vibe that D Chase on.